Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and today I am very excited to bring you some gameplay footage of a game that I absolutely loved on the PlayStation 2. Dare I say it's a hidden gem. That, of course, is Psi-Ops The Mindgate Conspiracy. Now, this game also came out on the original Xbox as well as Windows. I don't think it came out on the GameCube, but you are seeing it run here on my PlayStation 2 via those awesome HD Retrovision cables. I was capturing this footage for my main channel and wanted to share it with you here because, again, the game is so awesome and, not a lot of people talk about it anymore, and that's a shame. All right, now, a bit of a warning here. This game does have a fairly long introduction because that's what people did back in the day. It's actually 6 minutes long, but, kind of what you need to know here is that you play Nick, who is a psionics operative. Basically, he's a guy who's got mind powers, almost like a Star Wars Jedi. And his mind is being erased so that he can infiltrate a terrorist organization and sneak in, and then slowly over time, he'll start to gain his powers back and hopefully be able to kick some ass and gain control over this terrorist organization. Not exactly the most complicated plot. To be honest, I don't remember if it gets more complicated than that or not. I do know that along the way, and you'll see her here, you're helped with, I believe her name is Sarah, who is a double agent who helps you kind of regain your powers and kind of act almost like a tutorial. Speaking of which, for this gameplay footage, I did not include the tutorials in here because essentially what happens is, almost like Metroid, where as you go along, you gain your powers back, your psionic powers, and then it goes into a little bit of a tutorial. I cut those out of this footage because I figured you guys probably don't necessarily care, and we just get straight to the gameplay. But that's kind of the intro for this game. And this game was very memorable for many reasons. The first one being, and like I mentioned, is that your character gets these mind abilities, these psionic powers. And I remember playing this game back when it first came out and thinking, man, this is exactly what I think a Star Wars Jedi game should be like. And as you watch gameplay footage, you're going to definitely see that, where you just have basically Jedi powers, but also machine guns, which is kind of cool. And then the other thing that this game did at the time that just felt very new and very fun is that it used physics. It used ragdoll physics for the characters, used physics, I believe it's actually the Havoc engine, and it uses them with the environment. So for instance, you'll be able to throw people around, you'll be able to move crates and things like that. And at the time, it felt like that you could go into these situations, these levels, these rooms, and kind of solve them however you wanted to. Now, looking back on this game, I don't think it's exactly that open-ended, but it definitely felt like it at the time, and it was very liberating. Again, this game came out and just kind of came out of nowhere, and it just felt like something that was really new and exciting at the time. Now, this game isn't perfect, and actually going back and capturing this footage this last week kind of reminded me of some of the reasons why ultimately, actually, I didn't finish this game. I actually got really far into it, but I didn't finish it because it definitely suffers from just kind of, in my opinion, being the first game of this type, and so the controls are a little bit funky. The first being is that some of the controls, when it comes to like telekinesis, where you lift certain items, they're actually using the button sensitivity on your PlayStation 2 controller. A lot of people don't realize that actually, like, many of the buttons, maybe all of the buttons on the PlayStation 2, certainly some of them, actually had sensitivity and would react in games accordingly if they took advantage of that. And so some games did. Also, Gran Turismo famously took advantage, I believe, of that as well. I'm trying to think of some other games that do that. Maybe some rhythm games. But anyways, in this game, it's pretty clunky because, you have to hold, I think it's a trigger, and depending on how soft or how hard will depend on how high or low you'll lift something. And the tolerance is very small. So you struggle with that a lot. And speaking of telekinesis, another thing that this game does is that when you have something suspended, well, you can kind of toss it around with the thumbsticks. Well, those thumbsticks also control your character and the camera. And you're going to see in this gameplay footage here that sometimes I'm really struggling, especially in the beginning, to throw things around, and you'll watch the camera swing wildly at the same time. It's just, I think it's just trying to do a lot of things. And to be fair, it does most of them extremely well. But it's one of those games where, you know, I don't necessarily think it sold very well. I think it was, you know, well regarded at the time. And like I said, I do think it's definitely a bit of a hidden gem. But it is one of those games where it would be cool to kind of have it go back and be remastered for modern consoles, maybe upgrade the resolution and textures, but also go back and just kind of refine the controls a bit, because inside this game there is something very special, and it's kind of sucks that we never got a proper sequel. Now, that said, there actually was a game that came out that was considered sort of like a spiritual sequel to this called Second Sight, done or programmed by a different developer, actually Free Radical, which made the Time Splitter games. I admittedly have not put a lot of time into that game. It would be interesting to kind of go back and play that game now that I've put some time in this one again and see just how close they are. Love to know down in the comments if you have played Psi-Ops The Mindgate Conspiracy or Second Sight and what you think of that. So love going back and playing some of these old PS2 games, because in many ways they're just as fun today as they were back then.
Get out of the cell block and meet me on the supply room on this floor.
But who are... Okay, so meet up at the supply room, wherever that is. Damn, she seems familiar. But I don't know whether I should trust her, kill her. Whatever. At least she gave me a gun. It's better than a kick in the nuts.
Keep together! Deactivating security beam. Stand by. Whoa! Whoa! Keep quiet! Fire! Intruder! I see him!
What took you so long?
Where'd they take my squad?
The next floor for processing. But you're not ready, Nick. You have to recover your abilities.
I'm ready to go now.
You need to find some patience or you'll end up joining them. You trust me, don't you?
What was that?
It's for your own good, Nick.
The hell it is. Who are you?
Sarah Blake. I'm working inside the movement as a double agent. I can keep helping you as long as I don't get caught.
What did you give me?
First things first. You don't have security clearance, but if you trip the switch, all security beams will go down. Then you can make your way to the elevator to get to the second floor. Here's the key to the generator room. Get going before they discover you've escaped.
Stop! Stop! What are you doing?
Good job, Nick.
What the hell is this? Where are you?
I'm speaking to you inside your mind through telepathy.
Telepathy? Those movement agents that work for the General have some sort of psi powers. Now you?
Nick, hurry. Get a key card in the guard room to use the elevator.
Leave me alone!